Think a DUI is bad enough? Now imagine you crash into another car, even a parked one, while under the influence. A DUI with property damage can change everything about your case, your insurance, and your license. Let's talk about what actually happens and what you need to do right away. My name's Hieu Vu. I'm a criminal defense attorney in California. On this channel, we break down DUI cases in plain language, what the law really says, what police do, and what mistakes cost you the most. Today, we're talking about DUI with property damage, a situation that trips up a lot of first-time DUI defendants because it's not just about impairment. It's about consequences on multiple levels. Stick with me because by the end of this video, you'll know not just what courts look at after a DUI accident, but the steps people often miss that can protect your license and your freedom. Before we dive in, save this video to reference later. And if this applies to you right now, drop a comment with your question and I'll cover it in future content. Is a DUI with property damage? When you are arrested for a DUI and your impaired driving resulted in a collision that caused property damage, it's treated differently than a DUI without an accident. Police document the crash, run tests, and evaluate whether anyone was injured, how much damage occurred, your BAC, and whether you stayed at the scene. Even hitting a parked car can trigger this type of case. If you leave the scene without stopping and finding the owner, that could bring hit and run charges on top of the DUI. That becomes a second separate offense with its own penalties. Criminal penalties you might face. A DUI with property damage is typically still a misdemeanor if no one is injured, but penalties are more serious than a DUI alone. You may face fines and court costs, probation, DUI classes, restitution for property damages, possible jail time. And if someone was injured, prosecutors can elevate the charge under Vehicle Code 23153, making the case a wobbler that could become a felony with greater penalties, including jail time, higher fines, and longer license suspension. Why staying at the scene matters. If your car was damaged, but you stayed, called the police, and cooperated, that works in your favor. Leaving, even for a short distance, can result in a separate hit and run charge, which carries their own jail exposure and fines. DMV and license deadlines. After a DUI accident, don't forget about the DMV. In California, you must request a DMV hearing within 10 days of your arrest to fight automatic suspension. If you miss that deadline, your license can be suspended even before your court case proceeds. An attorney can handle both your DMV hearing and your court defense to protect your privileges while you fight the charges. Now, here's a part most people don't expect but can make a real difference in your case. So let's recap what we've covered. A DUI with property damage means more serious consequences than a DUI alone. Even hitting a parked car can trigger hit and run charges if you leave. Penalties can include fines, probation, restitution, and possible jail time, especially with high BAC or other priors. A DUI attorney can handle your case and your DMV hearing to protect your license. Knowing what to do and what to avoid in these moments is just as important as understanding the charges themselves. Here's the bonus. If you were involved in a DUI accident, but you didn't hit anyone and there was a minimal damage, it's still smart to photograph the scene, exchange information, and get statements from witnesses if possible. That evidence can help later, especially when police reports rely heavily on officer interpretation of events. Evidence you collect early can shift the narrative in your defense. Finally, if this video helped you understand DUI with property damage, save it so you can reference it later and share it with someone who might need it. And if you're facing a DUI with an accident right now, contact me, the Law Office of Hieu Vu, for a consultation. We can protect your license, your freedom, and your future. My contact information is in the description below.